G'day, it's Pete here, and today I have a special guest. I've got Bradybot here with me for a super special challenge where today what we're going to do is see, can you guess how good different players are? I've got the play and the bidding from either world champions, me playing with robots, advanced people, well, self-proclaimed advanced people on BBO, and intermediate people from BBO. And I want to see, can Brady actually work out which play is associated with which people? So welcome.
Thanks for having me on. This is going to be so much fun. I'm excited to do this.
So for those that don't know, Bradybot, Twitch streamer, YouTuber, does lots of cool commentary. Also had a video that was sort of inspiring for this one. You should really check it out. I'll post links down below to that, where he got one of his friends to guess, was the convention real or not? How this is going to work is there'll be 4 rounds, and for each of these, there'll be one hand that is from a World Championship Bermuda Bowl final, so the top of the top that you can actually get to. There'll be one where I'm playing with robots, and then there'll be the advanced players and the intermediate players. And just to spice things up, for one of the rounds, I've actually removed one of those categories and just put in one of your hands. So we'll see if you can work out when that happens. So
I'm never going to remember the hands I played. I don't even remember the hands in the middle of playing them. So
perfect.
That's going to be really embarrassing.
I chose a really obscure one that hopefully you wouldn't remember. Not like some famous one. But maybe you can work out from like, hey, actually none of these line up. My thoughts were, which of those categories do you reckon would be the easiest to actually pick from? Like, do you reckon it'll be easier to spot the bowl or the beginners?
Yeah, great question. I thought about this a little bit when you pushed the idea on me. And I think that assuming the carding is accurate, I think Bermuda Bowl level play should be easier to guess than beginner level play, because a lot of the defensive carding, I'm going to really hone in on that, make sure, are they giving good signals? Are they following their partner's signals and playing suits, whichever the right suit is on defense? So that's my guess, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump in. So for round number 1, we've got 4 hands. I'll just talk through highlight the 4 hands. We've got the first hand where there's a competitive auction to 5 hearts over 5 diamonds. The second hand is a competitive auction where they bid to 6 clubs. The third one is 1 no trump doubled contract, and the fourth one is just 1 spade passed out. So for all of these, what I've actually done is, if there were any descriptions of the bids or anything like that, they've all been removed. So you just get to only see the bids that are made, but you can also look at the card play as well and go through that and try and work that out.
Gotcha.
But
cool.
Let's jump in. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, great. Okay, let's take a look at my thoughts. So I was thinking there's a lot of bidding in this auction to 6 clubs. Let me start maybe with the last 2. We'll start with the very last one. There was not much bidding in this auction, so that's going to be probably somewhat simple to take a look at. 3 passes go around to East, who opens a club. That looks pretty natural to me. West bids a spade as a passed hand. East passes a spade. That's an interesting bid already from my perspective, because a lot of beginning players won't think that they can pass their partners one of a major bid in this spot. Or if they did it, they might do it with 4 trumps. So the fact that East has 3 spades, recognizes their partner's a passed hand, decides to pass 1 spade. I already am kind of putting that a little bit higher up, but let me take a look through the card play really quick. North leads a second best heart from 10-4-3. Interesting. I believe Polish players will make this lead. So if North-South are like a Polish partnership, possibly from a Bermuda Bowl, then the Four of Hearts would be the natural lead from North's hand. Some players might lead a trump. I think that quite a few Bermuda Bowl participants might lead a trump from North's hand. So maybe I'm thinking one of the middle two categories. So heart went around to the queen. South switched to a low diamond from King Jack 10 small. That is suspicious to me already. I mean, and West actually reads it by ducking around to the ace. Okay, I'm just going to quickly look through the remainder of the play. A few more rounds of hearts and diamonds got played. Declare then, oh boy, cashes the king of spades and then the queen of spades. Looks like the card play was a little bit off, both defensively and from declare here, but I think I have some information about what's going on. I'm still liking that East passed a spade, but maybe I'm going to put this more towards the advanced category on BBO.
Yep.
All right, let's look at what no trump doubled. I was thinking as you showed me this hand that it got doubled in one no trump. That feels more like a high level type of thing, whether it's the right decision or not, because a lot of beginner players or advanced players on BBO would not go for a penalty of the opponents at the one level. That just sounds like something that they're too afraid to do because it works out badly for them in the past. So South opened a club, a diamond by West. Maybe a little bit light, but it is 8 high card points, 9 high card points. I can count. North passes with a bunch of diamonds. So North is trying to penalize diamonds, and then when a no trump came, South made a takeout double. North decided to go after the penalty because they had good diamonds. I wonder if that's actually a good decision, but I'm probably not going to try and evaluate necessarily, like, is this the best bridge decision possible? Because as long as it feels like the player had some sort of thought process in their mind, it sort of elevates them to more of the expert or world-class level in my mind. So North decided they wanted to go after penalties. They thought the hand was a misfit. They had diamonds locked up. The opponents were vulnerable. All this seems to make some sense to me. Okay, let's take a look at the play. So South gets off to a heart lead. Dummy wins. Oh no. Well, I think I might have had my second oopsie in the card play. Hopefully this wasn't my hand. I would be very embarrassed. Yeah, so after the opening heart lead from South, which I would say might be a bit of a mistake already, your partner clearly is penalizing diamonds, so laying down the diamond ace feels like a good start to the defense. West won in dummy, and then played a second round of hearts as North showed out, or East won in dummy, and then misplayed the heart suit to give the defense a second trick. A spade was led, club finesse, declare, took a diamond finesse. South led the jack of spades to partner's queen. This feels like the card play has been significantly worse than the last hand I looked at in one spade. So my belief at this time is that this is the lowest. One spade is maybe the next lowest. Let's take a look at these longer auctions, though. That'll give us some insight into the players. So let's start with 5 hearts. I originally thought South was one of those players that you get at the local club who just can't give up on a good suit and a good hand. They bid a diamond, 4 diamonds, 5 diamonds all by themselves.
Yeah.
But it might be reasonable. So 2 passes came around to South. They decided to start with a diamond. I think anything of a diamond or preempting would make a lot of sense in third seat, depending on how you're feeling. So I'm not going to dock them for not preempting an 8-card suit in third seat with their partner being a passed hand. A heart overcall by West. East bidding 2 hearts is very unusual, I would say. For higher level games, most players at that level will have a way to show a mixed raise in their partner's major, like a 3 diamond bid. So the 2 heart call feels strange to me. South's 4 diamond bid actually makes a lot of sense. Now that South realizes it's the opponent's hand, South wants to take up some bidding room. I kind of think the 4 diamond call should end South's like decision on the hand now. This is a bid that you would want to make if you want your partner to make the last move over 4 of a major from the opponents.
Yeah.
And when partner passes it back to you, you kind of give up. So 4 hearts, pass, and then South bidding 5 diamonds is another, I think, what I would consider maybe not well thought through plan in the auction from the South's player. West, over 5 diamonds, decides to bid 5 hearts. 5 over 5 decisions are tough, and this is always the case at any level of the game. To me, the West hand feels a lot more defensive than offensive. It has 3 aces. The Queen 10 of spades feels more like defense than offense to me, because that might produce 1 trick on defense, 0 tricks on offense, as it does here. So I'm not convinced by the 5 heart bid, but on this layout of the cards, it works. So the bidding looks maybe not best to me, but I can understand the reasons behind all these choices from the players. Let's look at the play. North led the 9 of diamonds, makes sense. Queen, probably doesn't matter. King, ace, declare pulls trumps in 2 rounds. Roughs a diamond with the 4 of hearts. I think a lot of players at the Bermuda Bowl would keep communication and trumps just in case. Then cashes the ace of clubs, sees the king fall, club to the queen. We don't need to play the hand out. Are there any claims in this, or are we playing out the full 13 tricks?
Yeah, so there are some claims in this. When I was actually capturing these hands, one thing I noticed was that the intermediates like never claimed. So when I repeated this, I actually claimed at a certain point, but there definitely are claims, because without it, what you would find is that you could just go through and the Bermuda Bowl will get like 3 tricks of play and the intermediates will get 13.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so anyway, Declarer drops the singleton king of clubs. They had a claim for 11 tricks and play out the rest of the hand. I'm just going to make sure that 11 tricks were taken, and they were. So the actual play to this hand, while not that challenging, looked a lot stronger than the other two. Tables. Let's take a look at the 4th one, and then I'll probably give my final thoughts. North opens a heart. We get a 2 spade preempt by East. So I'm just going to count up North's high cards for a second. 15. Could depend on their no trump range or maybe just their style. They are 5-4-2-2. 2 spade preempt by East. I think already wouldn't necessarily occur to a lot of intermediate or advanced players, because they have a side 4-card major. It happens to be opener's heart suit, but they might be nervous nonetheless of doing so. I like the bid. 3 diamonds by South. 3 hearts by West is an interesting bid. I mean, West is a passed hand. Their partner's preempted. North has showed an opening hand, and South has showed a game force. So I think even at the Bermuda Bowl, you could get away with bidding 3 hearts here, and everyone would know that you just have a preemptive spade raise. Yeah. So I think while this looks funny, this almost makes me think that this is a stronger level of competition, because, beginning players wouldn't have thought of like bidding 3 hearts or Q bidding in this spot. I don't really know what it accomplishes over just bidding 3 or 4 spades with the West cards, but 3 hearts, North bids 3 now. They have 2 spade stoppers. No diamond fit. 4 clubs by South. 4 spades by North, Q bid. Key card by South, maybe, or maybe 4-0 was supposed to be rejecting a slam try. I mean, it looks to me like South should be accepting. Either way, I don't know what 4 spades and 4-0 necessarily show agreement-wise. North decides, let's not waste time, bid 6 clubs. And the contract looks fine. It's a little shaky. The trump suit's bad, but it looks to me like the preemption from East-West worked. North-South took a shot at a slam. So far, this auction to me feels like the strongest of all 4 hands. We get a spade lead, third best. Club led to the ace. Club led back to the 10. So what does Declare need to do? I mean, diamonds split. I'm not going to spend an hour analyzing how to best plan the play in this one. So heart to the king, another club up. And with the diamonds splitting, Jack of Hearts doesn't fall, but Declare has the rest. Cashes the ace, queen of hearts. Plays the 8 of diamonds, but there never was a squeeze. You just have too many losers. Ace, king of diamonds now has a claim for 12 tricks. That to me looks like everyone did something good. Like basically every player at the table did something good, and they got to a close contract in a slam territory, which a lot of intermediate and advanced players wouldn't think to bid in a 4-4 minor suit fit. And they played it really well and made it. So I'm going to say that this one is definitely the Bermuda Bowl.
All right, Bermuda Bowl. Yep.
I'm going to say the 5 heart contract is from one of your hands.
Okay.
And between 1 no trump doubled and 1 spade, there were a lot of what I would call newer level player mistakes in the carding in 1 spade. Specifically, like leading a low diamond from King Jack 10 fourth feels like something that people who'd been playing for like a couple of years or even a few months would be taught, like, oh, you just lead the jack from this holding, and they would follow that rule blindly. So that to me feels like maybe a lower level of play than 1 no trump doubled. I mean, maybe North, for example, thought the double of a no trump was penalty, and that's why they passed for that reason. So I'm going to say the advanced player is the third one, 1 no trump doubled, and the intermediates were 1 spade.
Okay.
Final answer.
Final answer. So we'll go through. We'll start with the 6 club hand. This was the Bermuda Bowl. So here, I'll go through who they were after the rounds, because I don't want to give you the clues of which the players were, because I picked it all from the same World Championship, but you can start to get their methods.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the things that I did spot in this is the opening lead here in the 6 clubs was the 8 of spades, which I think was just like they lead thirds and low. So I think that's like a clue, a solid clue there.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. So that's a really good point, that a lot of players would either lead the 3 of spades, or some of them might think Jack 9-8 is a sequence and they lead the 9.
Yeah.
But the 8 of spades is an unusual card. Yeah, good point.
All right. So you've got 1 right so far. Good start.
All right, 1 for 1.
1 for 1. We'll move on to board 1, the 5 hearts contract. This was actually the beginners, not me. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you.
It won't be the last time. Don't worry. So here, one of the weird things, like bidding 5 over 5. So you mentioned that, like, while there's the right action in this hand, to me, like, yeah, I agree this one looks pretty defensive. And I was trying to judge from the bidding, like, how often do what type of player will keep bidding their hand versus take the lower road or double? But this one here, I actually thought was like quite strong play from the beginners. But one of the things that I was curious about in the play is, you mentioned it, is the way that they played the hearts was very not like they weren't keeping their entries open at all. And they also popped with the Queen of Diamonds, which is not going to really matter, but gives up any squeeze chances.
Right.
And then I was also thinking that when they were playing why did they open up clubs themselves here? Like, there is a singleton king on the hand. But if I was to play it, I'd probably be more keen to lead spades at some point. The other point here is I don't think that this actually looks like robot play. The robots, I don't think.
You know what? I totally forgot about all that. That it is robot play. Yes. Good call. Thank you. Now I'll keep that in mind next time. Yeah. But yes, you're right. It doesn't look like robot play.
Yeah. The next one we'll look at is the one spade contract. This was actually the advanced people. So here, I don't think that they played this hand really well, but they did actually pass a spade, which I don't think any novices would do typically. So I think that's sort of like the main clue there. But they did do some strange things in the play, which definitely made it a little bit weaker. So to me, it looks, when they led the four of hearts, maybe middle up down, maybe what they were trying to do.
Mud leads.
The four of diamonds switch, I think, definitely rules it out of any like high level stuff. But the bidding, considering passing a spade, I thought was pretty good. But then the low diamond switch and also the way that they played the spades there, I think really lowers the standard there. But what caliber of player would choose to pass a spade was kind of like my thoughts here. And just because I wanted to make life difficult, the one no trump doubled was actually me. And boy, did I mess up this defense. Here, I thought you might think, hey, I want to highlight some good stuff. I thought I'd start with like some of the real bottom of the barrel stuff that I could give you. Here, one of the things that if you look deep in the play, so the early part of the play, the robot running the nine of hearts, to me, I have no idea why they would do that. And then there's obviously later in the hand, I butcher the spade suit and we crash our spade honors. I'm trying to remember what my thoughts were here, but I didn't think East was going to have 4-4 in the majors, and I was trying to generate an entry to my partner's hand, I think, which completely failed on the hand. But
gotcha.
One of the things right near the end of this hand, which I think gives a little bit of a clue to how the robots play, is the robots, I think, love winning with the smallest cards possible. So if you look at three tricks towards the end, they throw me in with a club and they pitch their queen of hearts because they've counted and seen that the seven of hearts is actually good enough.
That's it. That's a good point. Yeah. I actually didn't go that far in the play when I was looking through it. But yeah, that's really funny.
So you got one right. So that was 1 out of 4. But I'll
take it.
The Bermuda Bowl was the one you spotted. And I do think that might be the easiest, or at least for now it is. So I'll send you through the new hands. All right. So for round number 2, the next 4 hands we've got a hand where it's gone pass, a diamond, double, all pass. The second one is a competitive auction to 2 no trumps. The third one is a 4 spades doubled contract after a competitive auction. And then the final one is a 5 clubs doubled contract. So talk us through your thoughts here. Which one do you want to start with?
Yeah, let's start with some of the doubled contracts. So we'll start with a diamond doubled. Okay, so North, stylistically or whatever, decides not to open 2 spades in first seat. I think that a lot of people would choose the same thing. 2 passes go around to South, who opens a diamond, kind of automatic in third. And West makes a takeout double. They got 20 highs, diamond shortness, 4-4 in the majors. East passing a diamond doubled looks a bit strange to me. Although it's not game. So if I'm thinking from like a high level perspective, a diamond doubled isn't game. Partner's not necessarily even promising clubs, although I think most players in like the Bermuda Bowl or higher level competitions would probably just bid 2 clubs with the East hand. But it could work. Left-hand opponent's in third seat. Your right-hand opponent couldn't even act over a diamond. Your partner probably has some extras for the takeout double. I mean, I guess it's possible your left-hand opponent is the one with 18 highs and has opened a diamond planning to jump to 2 now. So it looks a little bit strange. I mean, I would bid 2 clubs. Certainly, I would expect most players to bid 2 clubs, but I think passing a diamond doubled has some merit to it with the 5 trumps. Especially with the diamond ace, you might hope that you can get in with that, play a spade through, get a spade ruff. Maybe you'll beat this a trick or 2 when you bid 2 clubs, your partner now bids 2 diamonds to force. You're like, no, 3 clubs. Your partner now bids 3 spades, and all of a sudden you're in a 6-1 fit at the 3 level with partner's diamond void and no way over to your hand.
Yep.
Okay, so let's look at the play. West leads the ace of hearts. East plays the 7. Interesting. West switches to a trump. I'm getting real robot vibes here from West. I mean, a trump is often a good play in low-level doubled part squares. This doesn't feel like the hand where switching to trumps makes a lot of sense, though, from West's perspective. And that 7 of hearts probably indicates heart shortness.
Yep.
Well, anyway, I'm just thinking about it. I mean, like, what was West supposed to do? I guess playing king, queen of hearts, 10 of hearts is no good. So, okay, what happens? A diamond goes to the 8 from East. I think that's a really strong play. A lot of more novice players, if they were in this position, would just win the ace of diamonds and play a spade, hoping to get ruffs, which would work out fine here. So Declare now leads the queen of spades. Wait a second. I think I've seen this hand before. Uh-oh. I mean, there was definitely a time in my life where I was doubled in a low-level diamond contract, and I had this spade suit, and I led the queen of spades at trick 2, and it held, or trick 3. So this queen of spades gets led. Okay, we'll come back to this one. I have a suspicion. We'll come back to this one. This might be my hand. You thought you were going to get me with that one. I remember every doubled contract I've ever played. Okay, let's look at 4 spades doubled. East passes in first seat. South opens 2 hearts. Some players will play an intermediate 2 vulnerable. Or some players might just play multiple ranges of weak 2s if they're playing a multi-structure, where 2 diamonds could be like 3 to 8, and 2 of a major could be like 9 to 12. This hand still feels a little good for that to me. But let's see what ended up happening. 2 hearts, West bids 3 hearts. Michaels. North bids 4 clubs. That, to me, sounds like a conventional bid of some sort. I mean, obviously, North doesn't have clubs. So...
What about Gerber?
What about Gerber? Gerber's conventional. Yes, it could be Gerber. I wonder if they're... Man, I mean, four clubs to me kind of leans this into the maybe higher level of play, because that's not a bid that would occur to anyone unless you were playing some sort of weird conventional two-heart opener, and four clubs was a weird convention in response. I don't know why North is making it with this hand, but because people will play like four clubs as some sort of like key card ask opposite some of these preamps. North has a balanced 11 count with barely a heart fit, and if South's hand is really in range, I can't imagine North wanting to ask for key cards. But anyway, East bids four spades. That looks like a good bid. Pass. North decides to double with ace king of diamonds and a trump trick, and probably they were in a force. So I feel like this could be Bermudable to me. Just because the two heart bid seems weird and the four club bid seems weird, but it looks like North and South were kind of on the same page about it. Three hearts Michaels is not necessarily a convention that everyone knows. The penalty double of four spades, also South's passive four spades sounds forcing to me based on the way their auction looks, but I'm not sure. Let's look at the play. So South gets off to a high club lead. Makes sense. Sees dummy. Switches to, okay, and this is probably not surprising. North played their lowest club at trick one, suit preference for diamonds. South ignores this and switches to hearts anyway. They switch to the queen of hearts. Interesting card. That feels like a weird play to me, but it doesn't seem like it's going to cost as long as their partner promised heart support with the four club bid. Because if their partner has ace doubleton, their partner can win the ace and play one back, and they haven't lost anything. I still don't know why they switched to the queen of hearts, but we'll keep looking. Goes around to the ace. Declare, rather than pulling trumps, goes after their side suit. This seems like a good line of play. Diamond to the queen. North wins the king. Jack of hearts to the king. South plays the 10. I mean, this has to be Bermudable. Well, this has to be really high-level play, I think. No beginner or intermediate or advanced player on VBO is going to play a third round of hearts here. They're just going to play that 10 of diamonds to their partner's ace and hope they get a diamond ruff. West ruffs with the king of spades. Continues a low diamond. North had a bit of a problem, had to guess. Flies ace of diamonds. Continues the 8. Ruffed with the 10 of spades. Spade to the 9 and ace. And now Declare just pulls trumps with that singleton 9 of spades. Yeah, this was really nicely played all around. If I could figure out two hearts and four clubs, I would be more confident, but that makes me feel like this is Bermudable caliber. Let's look at five clubs doubled. The last one. East opens a heart after North once again decides not to preempt a 6-card spade suit. So maybe this is like a robot thing. Robots just don't like preempting with 6 spades. A heart by East. South overcalls a 4-card spade suit. Not everyone's choice, but I totally understand the bid. You have a 13 count, your partner's a passed hand, you have length and hearts. So, if your partner has 3 spades, you're probably roughing in the short trump hand. One partner raises you. I think one spade's okay. I generally overcall fewer 4-card suits than most people, but it is lead directional. You have the ace-king, so I think the bid has a lot of merit. West passes. West had a bit of a difficult problem as well. 2 clubs, maybe a bit of a stretch. Some players might bid it. North preempts 4 spades, seems reasonable. Puts East under a lot of pressure. They decide to try 5 clubs. Huff from East. I mean, they catch the World's Fair there. Ace, king, 5th of clubs in their partner's hand. Oh my God. Can I have this person's luck? But but I mean, 5 clubs could work. I think I'd prefer 5 clubs to 4 no trump. Some people might make that bid if they're less experienced, but 4 no sounds more like you have longer hearts. So I do like the 5 club bid. I actually think that South's double is a pretty high level decision. It's a really strong bid. South has shorter spades than expected, so the total tricks on this hand are probably less than East would have expected, and South has a bunch of defense. King of Hearts being a good card defensively. The singleton clubs might split badly if East really was like 6-5 and West happens to have 3 of them, then their partner might have 4 trumps. King of Diamonds looks like a good defensive asset. I really like the double by South. South leads a high spade, so let's look at the play. I mean, should West redouble? I'm just hold on. I'm thinking of.
Can West have a better hand?
Yeah, West can't have a better hand, but West might be worried that the opponents actually have a good save in 5 spades. Yeah. So maybe West shouldn't redouble, but I'm looking at it. It's pretty clear 5 clubs is making. Yeah. So King of Spades lead gets rough. Declare plays a trump to the ace. I'm paying careful attention to the spot cards now. The King of Clubs blocking the entire club suit, which doesn't seem to matter much, although it feels weird. Now takes a heart finesse. South wins. South playing back a heart is really strange, I think. Heat, don't tell me. No, you didn't. Okay, because South knows spades are not helpful. Declare has clearly pulled all the trumps, so Declare can rough both of Dummy's spade losers. South also knows that East has the remaining hearts, so a heart back allows Declare to just run the entire heart suit and pitch all their diamond losers. It wouldn't have cost to return a diamond in this spot anyway, because Declare actually just has the rest of the tricks once the 10 of hearts falls. But you still, as South, really want to play a diamond, hope your partner has the ace, and you can beat this a trick. So this strikes me as the only strange thing that happened in the hand. The heart return. So Declare does cash all their hearts, pitching just enough diamonds, and now can claim on a cross rough. Cool. Okay, before I think about my entire vision, let's get to the 4th hand, 2 no trump. West opens a spade. East bids a no trump. South comes in with 2 diamonds. All looks pretty natural to me so far. West bids 2 no. That's a bit of a strange bid with 15. Because East, for a lot of players in the more advanced skill levels, and by advanced I mean like above BBO advanced, this would be like an 18 to 19 type hand. East could have a hand that has like very few high card points, but a spade fit and like a non-constructive spade raise, so you don't really want to force your way up to 3 spades when your side might only have 18 highs and an 8 fit. But I do get that West is a bit stuck in an auction like this, because if you're not willing to open a no trump with the unbalanced 15 in first seat and the 5-2 in the majors, then you feel kind of sad passing 2 diamonds. Your partner's likely going to have diamond length and might not be able to reopen with double. So 2 diamonds could end the auction when your side could be missing a game. So 2 no trump feels like a good attempt to me on the West cards. East decided to pass 2 no with 8 highs. That seems a bit strange to me. Would you tell me if these were precision players? It's fine.
I mean, they're not precision. Like, there's no precision.
Okay, great. Yeah, because if West was limited to 15, then I could obviously see East just checking out 2 no in a spot like this.
Yeah. That did inspire me for an idea of another video of like, can you guess which system they're playing?
Oh my god, that sounds awesome. We should do that. Okay, next time. Next time.
Yeah.
I don't think there's all that much unusual about the auction on second thought. So it looks like East West both had difficult decisions and made their choices. Let's look at the play. South leads the king of diamonds. Declare ducks. This is a great play, although it kind of fails on a double dummy basis here with that singleton 10 in the north hand. Trying to kind of cut off the diamond suit. Diamonds, I suppose, could be 5-2 on an auction like this, although then South wouldn't have much of a hand for it with no aces. So the king of diamonds holds. The 2 of diamonds is an unusual spot card to play from South. Normally you would want to signal where your entry was, and South does happen to have a heart entry. Oh, maybe the 2 diamonds is asking for hearts? I guess I was just thinking like the 4 of diamonds might be more heart-esque, but okay, so 2 diamonds goes to the ace. North plays the 3 of spades. That's a really weird discard. You can look at you're looking at the 5 spades and dummy. I mean, West opened a spade. You know that Declare is probably going to try and set up spade tricks, so a spade pitch seems odd to me. Like East could have Queen Doubleton of spades, and now you've just given Declare 4 spade tricks. Okay. So Declare goes after clubs, starts with the king, probably doesn't hurt too much. South is never going to have 5 clubs on this auction, I don't think. So no reason to play a club to the ace on the first round. So king of clubs, 4 of clubs to the ace. Declare cashes out the clubs. South pitches a heart. You don't want to give up your diamond tricks, and you don't want to pitch from Queen Doubleton of spades. Makes sense. Now South was kind of forced to pitch a spade. North throws a heart. Declare now leads a low spade. Interesting. Can't tell if misclick or really, really high level play. Because no, this can't be a good play, right? There's no way this can't be a good play.
I do love, I can't tell if it's high level or a misclick.
Well, like sometimes you can try and, duck tricks and end play someone.
The narrow difference between.
Yes, yeah, it's real close. Either Bermudable or you're a beginner. Yeah, this is not going to work out all that well for Declare. It's not going to work out poorly because South is going to win and cash 4 diamonds, and West is going to be left with 2 major suit aces. But Declare may as well, in that situation, have just like cashed the aces. Maybe South bared the king of hearts. So South wins. Let's see. Let's just watch South cash out to make sure that nothing silly happens from here. Okay, West does come down to both aces, and then there are 7 tricks in the end position. I guess I would say that exiting that spade feels very robot-esque. Declare could figure out that they were going to lose 1 spade and 4 more diamonds, so why not lose them earlier and take the last 2 tricks? Those tricks are worth more, I hear. So... Okay, let's go back quickly through all the hands so I can remember. A diamond doubled. Yeah, this... I can't promise. Let me look through a couple more tricks. But ace of hearts, diamond, Declare wins, queen of spades, which holds, king of spades, spade, ruffed and over rough. I tried to pull some trumps. And the opponents successfully I guess beat me 2 tricks or something. Well done, opponents. Why did East not bid 2 clubs? We'll never know. I think that's mine. I'm pretty sure that's mine.
All right.
So, okay, that means there's 1 level missing from the other 3 hands. So let's go back through. Let's go in order now. 2 no trump. It felt robot-esque to me, that spade play at the end. That's kind of a giveaway. So definitely not Bermuda ball caliber, I don't believe. And the rest of the play seemed fine. The defense seemed fine. The auction seemed fine. I could believe that this was a hand you played. Wait, you played against robots, right?
So any of my hands will be playing against robots. And I would always be in the south seat.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could totally believe this is a hand you played against robots. Everything makes sense. The carding makes sense for it. And that weird 2 of spades play. But let me look through the other ones once more. 4 spades doubled. I have to say this is Bermuda ball. 2 hearts and 4 clubs are such weird bids. The play was crisp and clean. Declare did everything right. He put North to a weird guess in the diamond suit. And South also playing that 3rd round of hearts through was very high level. So that has to be Bermuda ball for me. So let's look at 5 clubs doubled again. There's no way you would have made that mistake of playing a diamond at the end of the hand, or not playing a diamond at the end of the hand. So this has to be somewhat low level, but I think most everything that went on this deal made sense until we got to the very end of the hand where South continued a heart. So for that reason, I guess I'm going to say that this is an advanced player and not an intermediate on BBO. But I could totally be wrong about that one. So yeah, here's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with you played the 2 no trump, or defended 2 no trump.
Yep.
An advanced player played 5 clubs doubled. And Bermuda ball 4 spades doubled.
Yep.
Final answer.
All right. So going through these, you did spot your own hand. Well done.
Nice.
This was from a speedball you were playing with Greg Humphreys against 2 advanced players from like 3 months ago. So I'm impressed that you can remember this. Or like, it wasn't like some high-level competition, just some random speedball. But you're like, yep.
Yeah, I have played a lot of hands, but I have a good memory for some of them. Yeah, cool, though. I'm glad I got this one.
All right. The next one we'll look at is the 4 spades doubled. This is the Bermuda bowl. So, I was wondering what would you guess by like the heavy 2 heart opening? Like, would you just think, oh, they don't know what they're doing, and they just saw 6 hearts and like preempted there? But yeah, I think the 4 club bid's really strange, and in the card play, they did like really well not to suffer like trump promotions. Like they were really protective against being over-ruffed.
Yeah, the card play was excellent on this one.
Yeah. The 5 clubs doubled. This was advanced players, as you were right. So here, 4 card overcall, I don't think would be like something novices would typically do that much. I was curious about West passing over a spade. They've got an awkward hand. What would your thoughts be about doubling here?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I feel more drawn to a very light 2 club bid than a double, just because of the big disparity between my minor suits. I understand double like conveys, hey, I have some points, right? And that's really what you want to show to your partner. But you also kind of want to say, hey, partner, I have the ace king of clubs. Please lead this if that ever becomes relevant on the hand. Yeah, I think West just has a tough bid. Double, 2 clubs, and pass all seem quite reasonable to me, and I don't mind either of the 3 calls.
Yep. And here, as you said, I thought all that was pretty normal until they continued a heart, which doesn't really make sense when you should typically be playing a diamond. But like maybe your partner can't have 6 spades to the queen jack and the ace of diamonds. So
Yeah.
maybe your only hope is that East actually has 6 hearts and 4 clubs and just didn't draw the final trump. But yeah, random thought there. So 3 right so far, and then the 2 no. This was not me. This was actually the beginners.
Oh, okay.
So that's 2 out of 2. You've called me the beginner, but I'll take it. Here, things that I thought were strange, like competing to 2-0. They do have an awkward hand, but I feel like bidding to 2-0 is something that like beginners are super happy to do. But as you get up, it's like really cautious about doing it. Other things, if this was the robots, I don't think that they would bid 2-0 in that spot. And if they did, I think East would definitely be bidding 3-0. I don't know exactly what their range would be, but they wouldn't have that sort of judgment there. I think they would be a bit more like, this has to be like, 16, 18 or something, whatever range they play. And I feel like the East hand would raise. And in the play, like exiting a low spade is super strange. Like the robots might know that they just have their 2 aces and don't care, but they could potentially play for an end play on North. So like if North had the jack of hearts, for instance, ace of spades spade forces them to open up the hearts.
Oh yeah, you're so right. That's what I was in the back of my mind. I had something on that, but you articulated it better. Yeah, ace of spades spade would have made a lot more sense in the end position. Good call.
Yeah, so you got 3 out of 4 there. So we're at 50% now. Nice. And we'll go on to round number 3. Okay, so for round number 3, the first one we have a 2-no past 3-no trump hand. Then the next one we have a 4-club competitive auction over a 1-no trump opening. And then we've got another 4-club auction in a competitive auction. And then we've got a 4 spades doubled contract. So where would you like to start?
Let's go in order, actually. So 2 no trump by South. South has a balanced 20 count. Makes a lot of sense. East West stay out of the auction. They have no business being in it, despite having 6-card majors. North bids 3 no. Looks pretty reasonable, so I guess we'll take a look at the card play. I'm not getting much out of the auction so far. West leads the 4 of diamonds. Pretty sure everyone I know would lead the 5 of hearts from that hand. But that's such a weird lead. Okay. I almost want to come back to this. We'll continue. Let's see how the play went. So Declare wins the queen of diamonds. Now they're in dummy. It looks like a prime opportunity to take a club finesse to me. They do lead the 10 of clubs. East plays low. Declare runs the 10 of clubs, and West wins the singleton ace. Now West switches to the 7 of spades. So, I mean, I play a lot of robot stuff. The 4 of diamonds looks like a robot lead. They hate leading away from honors. And now the 7 of spades feels like my partner has spades on this auction, so I'm going to try and set up partner suit rather than my own because I now have no entries anymore. 7 of spades is a really weird play. Let's see how Declare plays. I might have a better sense of what's going on from Declare's plan. So king of spades, they win in dummy. Could have played the 10 to try and score an extra entry if they thought that was necessary. Leads the 9 of clubs. This time East covers with the jack. West pitches the 6 of hearts. Diamond to the jack. How many tricks is Declare missing now? Just 1. And they're
off a club and a heart.
Oh, they're missing two. Right. So there is a strip squeeze on East. Let's see if Declare finds it. Runs the diamonds. Pitches down to the singleton 8 of clubs. This looks excellent. Now cashes the ace of spades, the queen of spades, pitching a club. East throws the queen. Nice robot sense of humor there. So does Declare exit the 6 of clubs? This is nicely played. Yeah, this is really nicely played. The end position is marked as long as Declare has been counting, because they see West show out of spades, so East is also out of spades. They're down to just hearts and the 7 of clubs at the end. Well done. Yeah, I think this is like a really nicely played hand. I mean, West's opening lead in defense is all very bizarre, but if it's robots, that makes sense. Okay. This can't be Bermuda Ball, though, because West would always lead a heart in the Bermuda Ball. So I think this is probably you. I think you had a really nicely played hand here. Well done. You can pat yourself on the back. But let's move on. 4 clubs. East passes. Sure. South opens a no trump, 13 count. Okay. West passes over a no trump. This seems like a really weird decision. I don't know what system they would be playing, but a lot of people can show 4-card major, longer minor. That makes a lot of sense. If not that, then maybe even just bidding 3 clubs has some merit to it. Yeah, it's a really nice 13 count. I feel like West just has to get involved in the auction if they can, and passing over a no trump feels wrong. North bids 2 diamonds, transfer. East doubles to show diamonds. South passes, which is interesting. West bids 4 clubs now, which I love this West. Can I play a set of bridge with them? I think I would have some awesome results. This looks like your partner shows diamonds. You couldn't bid the first time around, but now you're comfortable. Opposite partner showing values in your void, jumping to the 4 level in clubs. East fields it and passes 4 clubs out. And does North find the double dummy spade lead? I don't know. North leads a diamond. Ooh, not the right lead. Not when East has showed diamonds in this auction. Yeah, this auction is like all out of whack to me. I mean, East looks like they did something reasonable, and South and West at least were just like have lost their mind. So let me look at the play. This feels like either intermediate or advanced BBO. Diamond to the king. 4 of hearts. It's a really interesting play. I think a lot of people would just like pull trumps and lead a heart towards the king. That makes the most sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess leading low towards the jack could, maybe catch North off guard if they have the ace without the queen as they do here. It didn't work this time. Heart rough. Sorry, maybe I should clarify. People would pull trumps and then like set up a diamond trick with a roughing finesse. That seems like a good thing to do. I mean, it feels like there's a lot of better things to do than leading a low heart to the jack, but so jack of diamonds now not covered by South. Pitches a spade. The 6 of diamonds. Reasonable attempt. The 10 would have worked better here. South playing the 7 of diamonds doesn't really cost. Declare eventually is getting around to pulling trumps. Oh my god. West is a genius. I don't know what's happening in the play, but West is ending up with quite a few tricks. 11 tricks. Yeah, West did really well to set up the diamonds in the end, taking a bunch of roughing finesses, not pulling all of the trumps, and then trying to score a heart rough with the low club in case South started with 3 hearts. The play on this board was actually quite good by West after leading a heart to the jack. Okay, that's very curious to me, but I still think the auction speaks to there's no way that this is a high level table. So let's go to the next 2. 4 clubs. So North opens a spade. Pass by East. Pass by East already strikes me as potentially a strong player because a lot of beginner or intermediate level players or even advanced players will count to 13 and feel like it's their job to either open the bidding or take a call.
Yeah.
And the fact that East could just easily overcall 2 clubs on this hand, a lot of them would just do that without thinking. So East kind of respecting that their partner's a passed hand. They have length in the opponent's spade suit, so their hand's a lot more defensive. They do have a good club suit. I still think a lot of players probably would and maybe should overcall 2 clubs, but pass is a reasonable alternative that might not occur to lower level players. It's also worth noting West passed a good 11 count and first seat favorable, but they don't have spades, so maybe that's a strike against the hand.
Yeah.
South passing, it's a non-constructive raise to 2 spades. Your side's vulnerable. Neither opponent looks like they're interested in competing in this hand. I can get behind passing a spade. Yep. West does balance 2 diamonds. West does a tough call. I think most players at higher levels of competition would balance with double because, the South hand probably is short in spades, given that they didn't take a call in this auction. Their partner, East, could easily have like a penalty pass, and West actually has tricks. West has like the perfect hand as a passed hand. If your partner wants to go after 1 spade doubled vulnerable, I'm ready to go. I have ace, king, king. I have a trump that I can lead through declare. So 2 diamonds feels like not a great bid, but it would be everyone's second choice. You have to balance with the West hand.
Yep.
North bids 2 hearts. That's real scary. I gotta admit that 5-5 looks great, but when your partner can't bid and you have a 12 count and you're red on white, I'm terrified of continuing to bid in auctions like this. I have bad spade spots. It sounds like my left-hand opponent has this penalty pass against me and was waiting for their partner to reopen double. I know a lot of people would bid 2 hearts, even possibly Bermudable competitors. Like, there are layouts where you can make a game. Partner has king 5th of hearts and a singleton spade, and that's their entire hand. 4 hearts can make on the north-south cards. And you don't want to miss these red games, but it feels like more often than not, you're just going to get doubled and go for $1 million. So 2 hearts feels scary. East finally comes to life with 3 clubs. Yeah, East is under a lot of pressure now that their partner has bid and North has bid again. They basically decided their side doesn't have game because their partner was a passed hand and couldn't open.
Yep.
So despite their 13 highs, they just don't want to take a shot at 3-0. I mean, their singleton king of hearts now doesn't look great after the 2 heart bid. So they try 3 clubs. I mean, 3 diamonds feels like a much better bid. Support your partner suit. You don't know that you have a club fit. South bidding 3 spades makes a lot of sense to me, right? South has a double fit now, and they've already passed. I really don't blame them, even though they have, what is this, a 12 loser hand? It's a pretty bad hand. But, your partner should have something for the 2 heart bid.
And that Queen of Diamonds looks real good, too.
Yeah, right?
But they do have, like, Jack third, partner's bid, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, partner could just have, like, ace, king, 6th, king, queen, 5th, singleton, or, like, and that would be a minimum for this type of bidding. And now you're on 2 spades to make a game. Sure, 3 spades looks like a good bid from South. West bid 4 clubs. Makes sense. They have a club fit. Okay. I mean, I can understand all these decisions. Honestly, I think the worst bid in the entire auction is the 2 diamond bid from West, followed maybe closely by North's 2 heart bid at their second turn. But all the other bids make a lot of sense to me. It feels like, they just made a decision. East decided they didn't want to overcall, didn't want to try for game, opposite partners passed hand. South made reasonable decisions at their opportunities. 4 clubs makes a lot of sense from West. They just want to compete. They have spade shortness. Let's take a look at the play. So we get a second best 4 of hearts lead. Interesting. This is the second time we've seen that from 10-4-3 earlier. Jack 4-3 now. 4 of hearts to the ace. North cashes the spade ace. Sure. I don't mind cashing the spade ace. It feels a little bit unnecessary and looks like it's helping declare a bit. But North is worried, looking at the singleton diamond, that East might have nothing in spades and the queen of diamonds. So I can understand this play. It does feel a little bit more accurate, maybe, to switch to trumps, try and prevent spade ruffs in the West hand, or even possibly just try and force declare by playing hearts. But okay, so ace of spades, again, probably not the greatest defensive play. Now North switches to trumps. Yeah, this feels a little bit inconsistent. If you wanted to pull trumps, you shouldn't cash the spade ace. If you cash the ace of spades, you should probably either continue hearts or continue spades or maybe even diamonds at this point. So the club switch, declare now pulls a second trump. They win the club in the West hand. Hold a second trump. Now they ruff a heart. This is not top level play if I've seen it. Declare feels all out of sorts. They don't know that the diamond queen is working or that the diamonds are coming home, but they could have been at least winning clubs in the East hand and ruffing spades in the West hand. That would make a lot more sense. Rough losers in the short trump hand as opposed to kind of tapping yourself in the long trump hand by ruffing hearts. They now cash the king of spades, play a spade, ruffing, cash the diamond ace, ruff a heart, lead the 7 of diamonds to the king. Oh, yeah, okay. And this is just now not counting. North must have 5-5 for the auction. They've turned up with 1 diamond and 2 clubs. Queen of diamonds has to be in the south hand. So declare could have pulled the last trump and then just run the diamond suit. Diamond to the 10. South exits a club. That's actually a really strong play at trick 12. Oh, but somehow the queen of spades went away from North's hand. I was not even paying attention to that. When did that happen? I see. That happened at way back on trick 10. I got you. Okay, all around, it looks like this was just a complete mess. Declare ends up down 1. No, Declare ends up making it because North pitched a spade trick. Contract just made. Maybe everyone just wanted to make Declare feel a little bit better, that they hadn't missed a club game, that they hadn't missed out on a penalty for doubling 3 spades, so they let him take exactly 10 tricks. Yeah, this feels probably like intermediate level play to me, all around.
Yep.
Lots of mistakes in the card play. I mean, the 2 diamond bid in and of itself feels like a pretty weak bid. And then the 2 heart call by North. Okay, last one. Board 7. Pass. North opens a diamond. Take out double from East. 1 spade from South. Did I already have a Bermuda Bowl contender in this one? I did not.
I thought you enjoyed this grouping of hands.
Well, so what I was thinking Bermuda Bowl wise is that a lot of people play transfers. I guess they play transfers starting with a no trump. So one spade makes a lot of sense from south. Okay, back on track. West bids 2 hearts. Makes sense. Oh, wait. North has 5 spades. Whoa. Everyone pause the presses. Now, I don't mind the 1 diamond bid. I understand the 1 diamond bid, right? Like, North is in 3rd seat. They want to lead direct. And if you're wondering, why not open heart? Because North's plan is basically to treat this hand as 4-4-4-1 shape. If you open a heart, what are you going to rebid? Your partner bids a no trump. Now you rebid 2 diamonds, and you're like double canapéing your hand. You're bidding both of your short suits before your long spade suit. Your partner's going to think that you're like 2-5-4-2 in shape instead of 4-4-4-1 or whatever. So I think I like a diamond rather than a heart if you're going to open a 4-card suit in 3rd seed from North.
Yeah.
Okay, so a diamond double by East, a spade by South, West bids 2 hearts, North now bids 4 spades. They found their 9-card fit. Lovely. East cracks this. I like the bid. They have 2 natural trump tricks. They have an ace. Their partner made a positive noise over there with 2 hearts, and they're kind of on a misfit. They don't have a fit for their partner's hearts, so if their partner has the king of hearts, it might score a trick. So I like the double by East. All around, it feels like a reasonable auction. This could be our Bermuda Bowl contender. West leads their doubleton diamond. That's an interesting choice. I think a lot of players might lead a heart on an auction like this. But I do understand why West doesn't want to lead a heart, because if South had the jack of hearts and North had the king, that could blow a trick. And that's actually a pretty likely layout of the suit. Wait, East made a takeout double of a diamond. Hold on. Can we go back to that point? For whatever reason, it registered East made a takeout double of a red suit, and I thought it was hearts. Now, I don't necessarily think this denies this from being a Bermuda Bowl potential contending hand, because there are a lot of players, especially among Italians and maybe Danish players specifically, that I notice like to make a lot of off-shape takeout doubles all the time. I might expect a no trump to be a more natural choice from the East hand. It's only 14, but the 10, 9, 8 of diamonds have kind of grown up with the diamond overcall or diamond opening on our right. We have some other nice spot cards, 9 of clubs, 9 of spades. Anyway, let's look at the card play. So now I've noticed the 2 things. Is there anything else I need to be aware of in this auction? Quick scan. Let's say no. Okay, 7 of diamonds lead. East wins the ace, probably thinking their partner has a singleton and they're going to try and give him a rough. So they do return the 10 of diamonds. Goes to the king. Declare tries the 10 of spades off dummy. That's a really cute and interesting try. If East happened to hold king 9 third of spades, what would... I guess there's no reason for East to play the king, right? Yeah, there's no holding. As long as South has at least 4 spades, that would be right. But okay, cute attempt. I mean, maybe hoping that East doesn't give their partner a diamond rough if spades are actually 2-2. thinking that they're trying to like take a spade finesse, but okay, 10 of spades to the ace. Now a diamond comes. I mean, what else can East do at this point? Other than play back a diamond? I suppose East could go king of spades spade, but not convinced that that's very helpful defensively either. So Declare plays a heart to the ace, plays another spade. East plays the 9. Oh no. No, this can't be it. Oh god, one of these was played in the Bermudable?
Yep, sure was.
Okay. This is getting exciting. I'm just falling through the rest of the play. King of clubs, ace, heart rough, club rough, and now the queen of diamonds cashes. So Declare comes out with 10 tricks. Wow. Oh no. Okay, let's go back through this and look for. I think I'm gonna try and find really, really strong things that happen. I was very impressed with the Declare play on board 2 in 4 clubs after the no trump opener and like weird auction. I think West played this hand really nicely. A couple of points. A heart to the jack. Sure, maybe other people would like lead a club to the king immediately and then take a roughing diamond finesse. There are lots of other reasonable lines of play, but heart to the jack happens, and then from here, Declare was just. I mean, they played perfectly. Heart came back. Heart back is a little bit of a weird play from South, but I feel like the alternative is to play a trump. Maybe South was just hopeful their 9 of clubs would score somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a heart comes back, Declare roughs, jack of diamonds now for the roughing finesse. They kind of misguessed diamonds by playing the 6, but it turns out not really, because with North having only 1 club, they were able to rough out the 9 of diamonds, pull North's only trump, and now take a roughing finesse by leading the 8 of diamonds on the next round. I mean, this was just like all around a really, really nicely played hand. And then at the very end, Declare tries not to pull the last trump because they realize they still have to rough 2 hearts. They play the king of hearts, rough with the 4 of clubs, over rough with the 9, and now they claim because the 9 of hearts gets rough, there are no more trumps. So that feels like maybe the strongest played hand of the entire set. The 2-no, 3-no hand. God, like what could inspire someone to lead the 4 of diamonds and then switch to the 7 of spades? Like, Declare's line of play was excellent. Yeah, Declare took a great line of play. They won the opening lead. They played clubs in the normal manner. Won the spade, continued trying to set up clubs, and then they had a strip squeeze and they executed it perfectly. So Declare played this hand well. I have no idea what West is doing on defense. So okay, these are the 2 contenders, I think, maybe, from my perspective, for Bermudable. Like, how could West not bid over a no trump? I don't know, but they played the hand great afterwards. So board 12 feels to me like maybe the weakest one. Sorry, the 4 clubs where North opened a spade and rebid 2 hearts. That feels like the weakest one to me. There were a lot of things that went wrong, both in the bidding and play from multiple players. So I think that's going to be the intermediates. And I guess that means that the advanced players are the ones on boards 7, 4 spades doubled, where East didn't pull trumps. So they could have beat this a trick. But, I mean, the auction kind of made sense. East is taught you have to have 15 to 18 to overcall a no trump. They don't have it. they feel obligated to bid, so their only choice is to make a takeout double with this hand. I get that. The rest of the auction made a lot of sense. And I think the defense made more sense here, even though obviously ace should not be ducking the second trump. So that feels like the advanced players to me. All right, Peter. Which one are you? Are you the one who pulled off an excellent strip squeeze in 3-no trump? And your robot opponents have led the 4 of diamonds from 10-9 fourth rather than a heart from Jack 6? That might be what points me to that deal being yours, because that feels like such a robot opening lead. Or are you the one who there was this 4-club contract and your opponents just like played brilliantly throughout? I'm gonna say the 4 clubs after doubling 2 diamonds is the Bermuda Bowl, and I'm going to back my judgment that Robot West couldn't help themselves and had to lead from their only non-honor on 2-no 3-no 4 of diamonds. So that was you.
All right. So
final answer.
So 3 knows me. The 4 clubs board 2 is the Bermuda Bowl.
Yeah, board 2 is Bermuda Bowl.
Board
then
12.
The 4 clubs on board 12 is the intermediate, and then board 7 is the advance.
Okay. So going through this, yes, board 6, the 3-no strip squeeze, that was me.
Well done.
So I was wondering
very
if
nice.
you might thought of the last time I put in one of my hands was like one of the worst play hands that I did. So like, I wasn't sure if you were going to judge like what sort of hands of mine am I putting in. But, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just hope to not confuse you with a beginner throughout the rest of the video. So that's my plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, nicely done.
Yeah, this one I think like the robot's super passive leads and just never leading a heart feels like super robotic to me. So yeah.
Yes.
Board 2, that was the Bermuda Bowl. So well done.
Oh my God. You're gonna have to tell me who West was after the hands.
Yeah. I did like when you were first analyzing it, you're like, if I got to play with West, would have great results. And
yes, see? I knew my customer. I mean, that was before I saw them play. West played this hand really nicely. So yeah, kudos to them.
Things here is like South opening a 1-no trump. Like, I do not think that's like a beginner or advanced player. Like, this is semi off shape and underpointed. So
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know like why West passed. But yeah, like South opening a no trump, vulnerable second seat is that they were trying something. So yeah.
Right.
Board number 12, the 4 clubs. This was actually the advanced players. And board 7 was the intermediate beginners. So here, things I noticed is, West didn't make a takeout double. I thought that was super strange. They also didn't open. And then the play of the hand was pretty weak, all in all. So I kind of agree with you there. I did find it strange that East didn't support diamonds. So I think he picked up on all the things there. But then I think one of the things was when you were analyzing board 7, you still hadn't found a Bermuda Bowl hand. So you were hoping that this bidding made more sense than it did.
I was.
So like, once you realize that this couldn't have been a Bermuda Bowl hand, this auction's pretty insane. If it's
I probably should have rethought about it in that context, but man, I was doing such a service to everyone, though, by coming up with rational explanations for the auction. No, but like, this is crazy.
Yeah, East making a takeout double, like, I've got 14 points. I have to bid.
Yeah.
North not opening their 5-card spade suit. I didn't think it was interesting that like West only bid 2 hearts, didn't bid 5 clubs or anything like that. But
Yeah.
and then the play of ducking the spades. So super weird one there. But yeah, you scored 2 out of 4. So
Nice.
and you still got the Bermuda Bowl right. I thought I was almost going to get you for a little bit, but I guess the other ones were just too out there as well.
Yeah.
So we're at 50-50 going into the final round. So let's send through.
All right.
Hands. For the final round, the boards we've got is we've got North-South bidding to 4 hearts. Then the second board, we've got a balancing auction where North-South got to 3 no trumps. And then we have a 4 spade competitive auction where it was sort of balanced. They stopped in 3 spades, pushed to 4 hearts, bid on to 4 spades. And then we've got a wild 6-6 shape, which ended in 5 clubs doubled. So where do you want to start?
Ooh, I feel like you were drawing me in by saying they stopped in 3 spades and then got pushed to 4 spades. Let's go to that one first.
All right.
Because that does feel like a bit of a no-no for a lot of more advanced players. But it can definitely happen, and North has a little bit of shape. So let's see what happened in the auction. Pass by South. West didn't open a pretty good 11 with a 5-card major. North opens a spade in 3rd seat. Seems reasonable if you want to get the clubs in. Some players might actually prefer a preempt, try and shut the opponents out of hearts immediately, but I think 1 spade is probably best. East makes a takeout double. South bids 2 spades. South does appear to have a pretty weak hand. A lot of players would play transfers here, so 2 hearts would show the good spade raise, 2 spades shows kind of this. West bids 3 hearts. That's really timid. If West doesn't want to open the bidding, at some point you have to let your partner know you have values. I mean, maybe there was a bidding accident where West thought 3 hearts was forcing if they thought 2 no was like Lebensal, but I don't. I think you just bid 4 hearts with 5 trumps and 11 Callan and no wasted cards. Opposite partners takeout double here. So 3 hearts. North bids 3 spades. Yeah. North could consider bidding 4 spades because they're 6-5. I don't think that would be the craziest bid to make, but they do have a lot of losers. I don't know. I would probably bid 4 spades with North's hand the first time.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like you're vulnerable at imps. Like sometimes your partner has bidding cards and spades and clubs, and you can just make a game easily. So anyway, 3 spades feels a little bit timid as well. Pass. Now West feels like they bid 4 hearts. Now North thinks, once again, I'll bid 4 spades. And this just passes out. Usually someone or both people have done something wrong in auctions like this. So if this did happen in a higher level event, I probably would have expected someone to double 4 spades, presumably West. But it does feel like the auction itself lends towards maybe intermediate players already because, like you say, they've decided to sign off in 3 spades. They've decided to sign off in 3 hearts. They get no new information from their partner, and now they want to bid a game. So let's look through the play, see if that confirms my suspicions. East leads the King of Hearts. East has an interesting choice of opening leads. Partner has bid hearts, so obviously the King of Hearts is going to be safe and a fine opening lead, but you're less likely to develop tricks. If you need to get club tricks set up before the opponents say, knock out your partner's ace of diamonds, it could be important to lead that club suit at trick 1. I think a club lead would be attractive to a lot of players.
Yep.
So King of Hearts opening lead. Spade to the 9. South Sand is on. South Sand is face up. Okay. I was going to say if South Sand was concealed, spade to the queen seems pretty clear, play one of the higher honors, but spade to the 9. West takes the ace, switches to the 10 of clubs. Makes sense, they have nothing else to do. Declare wins the ace. Now plays a club. Oh, I see what's... I wasn't even thinking about the play. Declare needs to actually rough the club suit good. So playing a trump, probably not the right line of play. And then West probably also should understand that Declare needs to rough the club suit good, so switching to clubs rather than pulling a second trump or ducking the ace of spades on the first round. Not the best defense. So Declare does eventually play a second club. Now a diamond comes through from east. Covered with the king, club rough, heart rough, club rough. Now the clubs are all good. Queen of diamonds. So Declare could have just roughed a heart to dummy and claimed everything's good. They play the queen of diamonds instead. The jack of diamonds pitching their club winner because they might not have been counting. Yeah, this feels like all around a fairly newer table. Both West and North in the bidding, and then also the defense and Declare play was a little bit sloppy, and East's choice of opening leads might not have been from stronger players. So I think this is probably the intermediate table, but let's look at the other hands. Where do I want to go to next? Let's just go in order. So 4 hearts, board 7.
Mm-hmm.
South has opened a spade. Takeout double from West, nice shape. They've got 14 again. just a balanced 14 for the takeout double all the time. 2 hearts from North. So 2 hearts natural from North. Again, I think most Bermuda participants would be playing transfers in this spot. Really important to have 2 ways to raise your partner's major to show whether or not you're just weak and trying to compete immediately, or if you have extra values and you can kind of stand doubling on defense or pushing to 3 of the major in certain spots. So 2 hearts natural, which looks like what North has, is not very common at that level of play. East passes. Yeah, East has a really good hand, but they have a heart void.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do with East's hand, but I certainly wouldn't pass. It could be 3 diamonds as the right bid. Could be 2 spades as a bid. I feel like double has to show hearts in this spot, so double is out, even though we want it to be responsive. But anyway, something along those lines feels like better than pass. You just want to start showing some values to your partner in case you can compete in a minor suit. South bidding 3 hearts, I think, is way, way, way too pessimistic. Even though 2 hearts is non-forcing after the takeout double, North would have to show extras with redoubling most of the time, I think. South has way too much stuff. I mean, they need almost nothing from their partner to make a game. Ace 5th of hearts and out, you're probably making 11 tricks. So I think South just needs to bid 4 hearts here. So this feels like a pretty weak auction, maybe somewhat timid as well. North decides to bid 4 hearts. I could go either way on that one. North does have 5-5 in good shape, and in terms of high card count, they're maybe in the middle of their range. The spade void is bad. The good diamond suit is actually pretty nice. Given the takeout double on your right, you expect the ace queen of diamonds to be on side most of the time.
Yep.
But, it's a weak heart suit, and your partner might only have 3 cards in support. I think as North, I might just pass 3 hearts. Kind of more showcasing why South should bid 4 the first time around. So ultimately, auction-wise, this feels in a similar boat to that previous one we looked at, where they bid, both players were like hesitant to bid their game, and then they got talked into it. And now it's like North was hesitant, but got talked into it once they found a fit from their partner. They decide their hand was pretty good with the void, even though it's in partner suit. Let's look at the play. So East leads a second best 8 of clubs. Wow. Okay. I don't know anyone who would lead second best from this holding, so I'm excited to learn what their other carding agreements are. So 8 of clubs goes to the ace. The club comes back to the king. And now East has to do something looking at this dummy with a bunch of spades and a bunch of trumps. And they play a spade. Makes sense. I think a lot of newer players or, like non-Bermudable competitors or like expert world-class players would never think of forcing the dummy here. They would just always play a spade. But oftentimes when you're looking at dummy with like a really strong suit and trumps, the best thing to do is to attack dummy's entries. And if they don't have entries in aces and kings, then you should attack them by forcing them to trump other cards. So continuing clubs or playing diamonds would have been a really strong play by East that I think a lot of, expert world-class Bermudable level players would find. So spade switch, declare wins the ace. They were given a free opportunity to stick in the queen or jack and get a finesse. So that's a little strange. They pitch a diamond. Then they lead a heart to the queen. This is probably a fairly weak play as well. West most likely has the ace jack third of hearts for the takeout double. It would be very strange for them to make a takeout double with only 2 hearts, even though we saw it earlier. So this has just been a trump misguess. Now declare roughs the jack of clubs. Now they take a spade roughing finesse. And then they continue the queen of spades, even though given the outstanding spade spots, this can't really help. Gets covered. King of diamonds pitching a spade as East doesn't cover. Wow, what a player. Oh my god. That was awesome. Okay, there's a lot of things that just happened on this trick, but yeah, so declare obviously could have roughed a diamond, roughed a spade, roughed a diamond, and started running spades. That would have ended with 9 tricks, and that would have been, I think, completely safe. But this is also going to work. Ooh. Now they play a second heart. West doesn't pull trumps. No! No! So declare is able to now continue cross-roughing. Oh no! But the 7 of spades was not high. Declare forgot. They've miscounted everything. So down 2 ultimately. Yeah, the play of this hand
reminds you of the Bermudable?
Yes. This was like on par with other players in the Bermudable for sure. It's a similar feel to the other hand, right? Because their north and west were very timid in the auction. Here, south and east, I would say, were very timid in the auction, not bidding enough at their first opportunities and then, kind of getting silenced. The play on this hand felt like there were so many more just like clear mistakes that were happening. West at the very end could have pulled an extra round of trumps. Declare has miscounted the spades. Declare didn't take a free roughing finesse when it was given to them, when he switched to spades. I could go either way. I'm going to come back to these two, but these strike me as most likely to be the intermediate and advanced hands.
Yeah.
We'll look at the other two now. So I guess I'll go in order. Board 8. West opens a spade. They have a 12 count. Pass. East passes. I'm not a fan. Not vulnerable, but I can get behind it, especially if it's the robots. It would make a lot of sense. They would never bid with less than 5 high card points or 6 high card points. South reopens with a double. That makes a lot of sense. You got 15 count. Probably too good to balance a no trump. A lot of people play that range like 10 to 14 or 11 to 14, somewhere in that situation. Pass by West and no trump by North. Looks good. Pass by East. South bids 2 now. Excellent bid. South could have bid 2 diamonds at their second opportunity to show, again, a good enough hand to make a takeout double and bid. Too strong to balance 2 diamonds, but I like the 2 no call. North takes it to 3 no with maybe a little bit extras, but also really nice spades. I like this decision. Let's look at the play. East leads a spade. Some players would lead a heart. I don't mind either heart or spade lead. I think either has some merit. Obviously, a heart, you're just hoping your partner has 3 of them, and declare or dummy comes down with ace doubleton, maybe. You can set up the suit, but partner opened a spade, you may as well lead them. So 8 of spades goes around to the king. West continues spades. Yeah, God, West has a really gross hand to lead from. They obviously don't want to touch diamonds or clubs. Queen doubleton of hearts into the ace 10 third looks like a bad thing to do. I mean, maybe we could argue West should duck the opening spade lead and let declare play something, but they return a spade. Ace of diamonds. So what does declare know about the hand? Ace of diamonds is a big play. Because how many tricks do you have? You have 2 spades, a heart, and a club. That's 4. East could have queen third of diamonds over there. But obviously West is more likely to hold the diamond queen from the opening bid. So, I mean, it cuts both ways, but this is a play that strikes me as, a good player might make it. A lower level player probably wouldn't find it. So ace of diamonds, diamond to the king, diamond. Oh, it's also interesting because this has the effect that West really doesn't want to be on lead, and now you're forcing them onto lead. East has pitched the 5 of hearts, hopefully giving West a signal. Nope. West was not paying attention to the signal. Switches to the 5 of clubs. I mean, I could see this being a robot game. Let's finish out the play though. So 7 of diamonds. West pitches a spade. Another diamond. West now throws a heart. West was squeezed in the black suit, so they had to throw a heart on this trick. And there's another strip squeeze. Oh, this is incredible. Is this the second one? Is this like all you do, Pete? You just strip squeeze the opponents on every single deal? That's an awesome superpower. So ace of hearts, club to the jack and ace, and now a club. And West is once again end played to lead a spade into the queen 10. Really well done once again. It was for an over trick, so this wasn't even a necessary thing to do at the end of the play once declare had already scored that extra club. And if whoever was playing it had ended up miscounting or misreading the end position, you could have gone down in a game contract, which would be a little bit scary at umps. But yeah, so declare, I think, played the hand nicely. Definitely a case to be made for diamond to the king, diamond to the jack, but declare's plan worked out beautifully and ended with a nice end position. So cool hand. Okay, let's look at the last one. Board 3. South passes. Oh God. No. Don't do this to me. This is like a perfect preempt. How? Okay. Well, West opens a diamond. Let's see how it proceeds. North makes a takeout double. It feels like about almost all North could do. Some players I could definitely see overcalling a no trump given the vulnerability and the fact that the ace queen of diamonds now kind of looks like the ace king. So you just pretend it's a 15 count. But takeout double is reasonable as well. East bids one spade. Sure. I mean, you don't really want preempt in spades in this type of an auction, I don't think. Not with such weak spade spots and shortness in partner suit. So one spade makes sense. South finally gets their act together and bids four hearts. See, this is what we need to see from the intermediate and advanced players on BBL, that the players on board 15 and board 7 take note. Your partner makes a takeout double. You bid game when you have like a really good suit over here. 6 hearts, ace queen. Maybe you should preempt in the first place, but we'll get to that lesson next time. So West bids 5 clubs. Yeah. That is the bid with the West hand, I think. I don't know. It could work out really badly. The colors are so wrong for this bid, and you have no aces, but you're 6-6. I mean, what can you do? Yep. Right? You actually have a singleton in partner suit, not the opponent's. Yeah, I like the 5 club bid. Pass by North. I mean, probably, right? North doesn't know what's going on. South might have just been bidding 4 hearts on shape and doesn't actually have defensive values. Passes back around to South, who doubles. I could see this being a Bermudable auction, for sure. Let's take a look at the card play, see if anyone gets strip squeezed. Otherwise, I'll know that's your signature trademark. 6 of hearts opening lead. Jack from dummy. You know, North led a heart and not a club. North has ace queen third of diamonds.
Yeah.
We should always just be leading trumps against this. Heart is a strange lead. But okay, let's keep going. Jack of Hearts feels like, honestly, a pretty good play. It's a high-level play. You get a little bit of information about the location of missing honors in the suit when you make plays like this sometimes. So I can get behind the Jack of Hearts. I don't think it's that unusual. South plays the ace anyway. To declare ruffs, crosses and trumps, and plays a diamond to the king. I'm not going to dwell too long on this. I mean, this seems like a weird play, but if you're always playing North for the queen of diamonds anyway, then this isn't going to cost. And maybe this picks up against some obscure layouts where South has like ace doubleton, if that's ever a thing on this type of auction. I guess it could be. South could have ace of hearts, ace of diamonds, and North has ace queen, jack of spades. I don't know. Anyway, diamond to the king feels weird, but let's see how it plays out. Ace of diamonds, another heart, forcing declare. King of clubs. This feels very robotic to me, the way the hand has been played. It seems non-human. Like diamond to the king is not a play that humans would really make, and now West is pulling a second trump rather than roughing a diamond. So king of clubs. Now they play the jack of diamonds. North covers. And there is a spade to lose, but declare does have the rest. They can rough a heart high to get back to hand and then pull the last trump. Okay.
All right.
Ooh. Okay. Well,
so currently you're at 50%, I believe. Or
currently I'm at 50%. I know.
You need to get,
and I feel like, yeah, I need to get half of these, but I think in each group, I feel like I've identified the 2 groups. I hope I'm not wrong about this. Board 7 and 15, I think, are the intermediate/advanced. And I believe I had the feeling that more mistakes happened on 7. So I was going to go intermediate on that one. But not final answer yet on that. And then 8 and 3 feel like Bermudable and one of your hands. Man, I mean, would you pass the south hand? Maybe. I could see it. I mean, I like it preempting. I think preempting is normal, but I don't think it's so far-fetched to pass with 3-6 in the majors like this. And it is a bit of a style thing sometimes as well. The 3 no trump hand. See, West defense here feels very robotic to me. And the Bermudable, East would just signal for hearts and West would switch to the Queen of Hearts. And Declare can still make the contract if they read the cards well by once again strip squeezing West. But it's a lot harder when that happens. So really, West switches to clubs? Okay, I'm going to go back to that point in the play. So what trick was that? So spade to the king, spade to the ace, ace of diamonds, diamond to the king, diamond to the jack. East pitches the 5 of hearts. West switches to the 5 of clubs. Currently, West knows that North is sitting on Queen 10 of spades, and they know nothing else about the hand. Declare kind of frantically cash the ace king of diamonds, holding an 8-card diamond fit, where a normal line of play would have been diamond to the... Okay, you know what? I'm back on track. This feels like it could easily be strong Bermudable defense from West, where Declare's line of play looks like they're scrambling to take their 9 tricks before the opponents get to work on the club suit and can cash winners. So North could easily have King Jack of Hearts and 3 small clubs. And to beat the contract, right, because over tricks don't matter in the Bermudable, it's an imp game, West needs to take 3 more tricks from this position after winning the Diamond Queen. They're looking at that Queen 10 of clubs and dummy, and they're like, at match points, I might not do this, but at teams, all I need is for partner to have the club ace, and we can beat this thing. And they switch to a low club.
So you're going Bermuda for number 8?
That was my analysis. It's just like East gave a signal in the heart suit. Come on. You got to pay attention to your partner's carding. I don't know. I mean, maybe East lied in their signal. It's possible. The 5 of hearts could have been, discouraging, or who knows. But I could see that defense at the Bermudable. The way the 5 clubs doubled hand got played just felt very robotic to me. Again, I think a trump lead is automatic from the North hand. So no strong player would be leading a heart here, I don't believe. And yeah, a diamond to the king feels really weird. Pulling a second round of trumps feels really weird. I guess it actually made sense to pull a second round of trumps at that point, but it just, the whole thing feels weird to me. So yeah, I'm going to go that board 3 was you.
Yep.
Board 8 was Bermudable.
Mm-hmm.
And then among the other hands, it's again feels like a 50-50. I'm going to say the play on board 7 was just very amateur, pretty low level all around, like throughout the entire table, I think. So I'm going to give that one the intermediate mark, and board 15 is going to be the advanced mark.
All right.
Final answer.
Final answer. All right. So we'll start with board 7.
Okay.
Yes, this one was the beginners. South not bidding 4 hearts, super strange. And I thought the play was like lots of mistakes. And I think you picked up on all of them. Them not taking the free finesse, them running the king of diamonds, them thinking the 7 of spades was high, and not picking hearts. It seemed like a train wreck of play. And like one thing that I notice is like when intermediates start making mistakes, they kind of feel like the hand's over and they're just out of it. So like if they make a mistake early, often I'll see like intermediates make mistake after mistake after mistake, and it sort of all falls apart from there.
Yeah, that's also something, a good point that I've noticed. You know, you can earn so many more tricks after you misguess a finesse. And, you know, at trick 2, right, you like have to guess the queen at trick 2 because of entries, and you misguess who has it. And you're just like, oh, no. And you throw the rest of the cards on the table and you go down 4 in your contract. You can still earn imps and match points by going down 1 in these contracts. It's not so bad.
Yep. And board 15, this was the advanced.
Yes! Right.
You've reached at least 50-50. West passing a favorable 11 count, ace king. Most people would open that hand, I reckon. The robots might not though. But then only bidding 3 hearts. I also think that North should bid 4 spades the first time. Not because like you might not make it, but if the opponents bid 4 hearts, like if East bid 4 hearts, you're always planning on bidding 4 spades, I feel, and you just don't want to get doubled. So maybe you make 4 spades, maybe you don't. Who knows? But I'd probably just bid it the first time. And then in the play, I thought they played like the earliest part reasonably well, but then they got to a point where their clubs were high and they just kept using their winning diamonds rather than just roughing and drawing trumps. So, all right. And then on to the 3-no and the 5 clubs. So the 3-no was me. So you finally got the wrong.
Nice. Well done. Yeah. So your thing is strip squeezes. You just like every hand you play.
Yeah. You just got to strip squeeze them on every hand. The main thing that I thought was East pitching the 5 of hearts. I think that's like the only real giveaway on this one. Like the robots don't signal really. So if West has to defend without reading that. But then also on the Bermuda Bowl hand, one of the interesting things that I thought was South passed here with a hand that looks like a 2-heart opening. But this was actually the same pair that had that like heavy 2-heart preempt earlier.
Right.
So they didn't have a weak 2 in hearts, I guess.
Wow.
Or maybe they just didn't think this was appropriate or something. Not sure. But then also the diamonds to the king play. Firstly, I don't think this is something that intermediates or advanced people would do, because like there's a singleton in the dummy. Everyone's like, hey, when there's a singleton in the dummy, South, if they had the ace, would always fly. But when you get to the expert level, that doesn't actually happen. So West now knows that South could have the ace, and they were the person who doubled. So maybe playing them for the ace of diamonds is more reasonable.
Sure.
So that was sort of my thoughts on that with the 5 diamonds doubled. So the 5 clubs doubled. All right. It was USA versus Netherlands. So this was actually Gru and Lal and Hurd and Wooldridge. Then the Netherlands was Prugen, Verhees, Brink, Driver. All in all, you finished on 50-50 split. You managed to get the Bermuda Bowl right 3 times. You gave me credit for the Bermuda Bowl once and beginner twice. And got me right once.
Nice.
But thanks for doing it. It was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was so much fun. I hope that we can do a bunch more collabs in the future as well. But thank you for bringing me on. Yep. And I look forward to seeing the final video when it comes out. Yep. Make sure if you're not subscribed to Pete, you do that, click the like button on the video, and leave a comment about what your favorite hand was. How's that for an outro?
Awesome. But where can people find you?
Yeah, so I am at Bradybot0 on YouTube, and I'm also Bradybot0 on Twitch. I'm Bradybot on BBO. You can always feel free to send me a message on either of those platforms. I probably won't reply, but I will love that you've talked to me. And make sure to check out my streams, all of my videos on YouTube. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, we'll be there. And I will be doing commentary for your next favorite event on BBO. I promise.
Well, cheers for joining me, Rob. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, take care.